WTVW with Jake Boswell, Alexandra Johnson, and meteorologist Ron Rhodes. This is Daybreak Extra.
Thanks for sticking with us this Thursday morning. Our movie expert Jim Hunter is joining us now to take a look at what's opening this weekend. So, Jim, the big movie over the last couple weeks has been Jurassic World. Is that still at the top of the box office right now?
Yes, Jurassic World won last weekend. It dropped about 60% from its opening weekend, so that's not a great hold, but it still was able to. I mean, given the amount of money that it grossed in its opening weekend, it's still a nice chunk of change in its second weekend. Incredibles 2 also hanging on. That came in second place, and then Sicario came in third place.
Okay, we'll talk about Sicario possibly here in a bit.
Yes.
This could be the movie, though, that takes the box office this weekend, don't you think?
This is guaranteed to take the box office.
Yeah. Marvel's new movie coming out with everyone's favorite leading man and superhero action star, Paul Rudd.
Oh, yeah, Paul Rudd, clearly an action star, clearly a superhero.
But enough to be in a few Marvel movies now and have a sequel. This is Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yes, Ant-Man came out a few years ago. It was directed by Peyton Reed, stars Paul Rudd. Ant-Man appeared in Captain America Civil War, did not appear in Infinity War, and this might be this film might show why. Basically, the story is Paul Rudd returns as Ant-Man. Evangeline Lilly plays the Wasp, his new sidekick, with whom he teams up to fight the newest enemy in the MCU, Ghost. Basically, this the Ant-Man, Paul Rudd's character, has to balance his responsibilities as a superhero with his responsibilities as a father, the same type of conflict that we saw in the first film, and we get plenty of MCU action as well. This is sort of lighter, charminger than something like Infinity War, which had everybody in tears by the end of it. So we'll see what happens.
So this is maybe why that movie's coming out next.
Yeah,
what are the critics saying about this movie, maybe compared to the first one, Jim?
It's a palate cleanser, basically. It is recommended by the majority of critics. I believe it was like 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's a pretty good recommendation. But once again, we're going into this with sort of MCU expectations. These are going to be fun, sort of non-consequential films, inconsequential films, and sort of, summer blockbuster fun entertainment kind of thing. Nothing like some of the deeper prestige films that we get later in the year, or like Infinity War, which we got at the beginning of the summer.
So we'll see how that does here this week here in the Tri-State. Our next movie is Won't You Be My Neighbor? Yes.
Now this film, we've got 2 documentaries coming to Evansville.
And this is one, though, I think
this is amazing. We've got RBG, which came out a few weeks ago, and now we got Won't You Be My Neighbor. Now,
and this one, I think a lot of people have been talking about on social media, so it's got a lot of buzz surrounding it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you, but I watch the news. You report the news. It's a depressing world out there. Wouldn't you just love to have somebody who's optimistic and lovely and just likes to be kind to people? And that's what Fred Rogers is. This is the documentary about Mr. Rogers and Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and it's about his sort of uncynical approach to life and to his job. He's a TV pioneer and sort of the foundation of a lot of our childhoods. Those of us who grew up in the 80s, 90s, and then even before. So this is sort of a delightful documentary about this man and a profile of the work and the legacy that he left.
A positive way to spend your time in the theater.
Absolutely.
This one's not.
This one's not. So the next one's not.
This is a sequel in a horror series that I think as soon as they made the first one and they had success, you knew eventually they were going to make this movie. Right. This is the Purge. It's the first Purge.
This is the opposite of Mr. Rogers. So if you want a cynical and pessimistic view of the world, go see the first Purge. So it's directed by Gerard McMurray, stars Lex Scott Davis, Elon Noel, Hall and Marissa Tomei. Basically, this is about the first Purge. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this franchise, the Purge is a night where all crime is legal. You can go around murdering people and you won't have any consequences. And basically, this is the story about an isolated community which they're trying this new idea out. And of course, the violence spreads beyond the community and on and on and on. I mean, it's basically critics are saying if you want to go, if fans of the franchise will enjoy this, it's really light on sociological commentary or anything any larger themes. So this is basically only for fans of the horror franchise, or for this particular franchise, actually.
Okay, well, Jim, we want to do a review right now of Sicario's sequel. We've got about a minute to talk about The Day of the Soldado. You saw the movie. What do you think about it?
I did. So as a political thriller, which this is in the genre of, I think it's sort of middle of the road, so I'm giving it kind of a 2.5 out of 5 stars as a whole. But the larger implications and sort of the larger themes of this film, it's a film that supports kind of unfettered violence, but at the same time, and we're seeing unfettered violence right there, but at the same time, it reveals how the characters really don't understand the game they're playing. And it's a film that reveals that the characters are trying to play this sort of game of chess that they think they know the rules to, when there are far more chaotic circumstances involved that they don't understand. So in a way, it's sort of a film at war with itself, because it's not sure what it really wants to say about some of these big picture political issues. And in that sense, I'm kind of disappointed with the film and the film's political. The actors,
good performances from those main actors, though?
Oh, yeah. Benicio del Toro is fantastic. Josh Brolin is pretty good, but Josh Brolin is basically a stone-faced madman killer in this film. And it's a film that lacks a moral center, because we really don't get beyond that aspect of Brolin's character.
So how many stars in the Jim 5-star scale?
It's 2.5 for me. I almost went 2.
Better than Jurassic World for you.
Oh, well, yeah.
Okay. Jim will be back next week with more movies. We'll see how the new AntMan and Wasp movie did. Ron, how's the weather looking between now and then?